Welcome to Belgro's Funeral Home, where we celebrate life's precious moments. From the moment you enter our doors, you're met with kindness and care. Our reception area is designed to be more than just a waiting room. It is a place of calm, thoughtfully created to ease the weight of grief. In our private conference room, conversations are guided by empathy. Here, our client experience coordinators sit beside you, not just across the table to help plan a service that truly reflects your loved one's story. Whether it's a traditional farewell or a personalized celebration of life, we take time to understand your wishes and offer thoughtful guidance. At the heart of our organization is a dedicated manager who ensures that everything runs smoothly, from the smallest detail to the final farewell. We understand that choosing a casket or a coffin is a deeply personal decision. In our selection room, we provide a calm, respectful environment where families can take their time and explore options that reflect their loved one's life, beliefs, and preference. Our spacious chapel is where memories are honored and lives are celebrated. Designed with serenity and warmth, it provides a welcoming space for families and friends to come together in reflection and remembrance. For families choosing cremation, we offer on-site professional cremation services in a setting that upholds dignity, peace, and confidentiality. Our crematorium offers a seamless and respectful alternative to traditional burial, giving families flexibility while maintaining the highest standard of care.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne Nurse, and yes, I'm one of your favorite youth hosts this morning, and we're here to bring you this youthful vibe, youthful vigor, and the vibes here smack center in the middle of your busy week. A special good morning goes out to all our ardent viewers. We're on so many channels right now. We are on Digicel, we are on AMPLIA, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and my beautiful co-host who's joining me this morning will help me out to welcome you and to send you some good greetings. Good morning. And sorry, she also, had a visit at the Chiefs, a courtesy visit at the Chiefs with the Chief Secretary yesterday. Following that, she went to the house to give a speech, and of course she walked with some goodies, but the highlight for me was the fact that she visited the Signal Hill Secondary School, and they put on a nice little show for her. She kind of talk up the children, and and Kamala Persad-Bissessar has, through her tenure in service, has always loved children. Children are the epicenter of what she does. But for me also is the fact that when she came to the house yesterday, and her speech was filled with a lot of diplomacy, hope, and championing the national pride, which is Trinidad and Tobago. Something that has been kind of tossed about from time to time. Not just with politics, but it's something that has plagued us. The woes of being a Twin Island Republic, right? One of the other things, the goodies that came from that as well, is the fact that she gave the Tobago House of Assembly, through the Honorable Chief Secretary, the export license for the Study Park enterprise.
And that was one of my highlights as well for the entire thing as well. Because I know usually when some of the persons online, they would see that the Prime Minister is coming to Tobago to talk with the Chief Secretary. Sometimes what you see is mostly negative comments. And I'm hoping that from this license that she granted, people can now look at it in a positive light. They can look at the meeting of the two heads coming together to ensure that Tobago has something that is fruitful out of these two parties coming together. And I'm really happy that that is one of the things that came out as one of the highlights, because being a leader is no easy feat. There are so many things that you have to look at and take into consideration when you're choosing what you're going to go about, especially in light of everything with the US as well. So I would say that was a good thing.
And not to compare apples and oranges, but a female leader bring they just bring a kind of finesse to it. Women could be, rather crass, rather logical, rather linear.
We usually give that compassion, we usually give that empathy.
That came even in her her jocular moments when she was, doing her little picong and so on, at the end of her speech, she said the anchor. I just had to laugh. But it just shows, the type of person that she is, and it shows camaraderie, something that we really, really need between the two islands.
Especially when it comes to politics. I think we as a people tend to divide ourselves when it should be about unity and understanding that at the end of the day, TNT is what comes first. Trinidad and Tobago is at the forefront, and anything that we do, it should always be for the benefit of the people.
Yes, certainly. Watson Duke always has to be humorous self. He started off with his greetings in I think his Spanish and French, if I'm not mistaken, if I didn't hear him correctly. And he threw his picong on the other side, of course. I saw the Prime Minister in her usual self, just cheering it on in a very jocular manner, just making light of the moment. And these are little nuggets that make us who we are. There's a Trinidad is not a real place.
Not only that, they always say that we don't take things very seriously. We usually make the light out of the most heaviest things that happen to us here. And that is truly what makes us...
It's a coping mechanism, But I really, it was really good to see that yesterday. I think on Thursday, the minority leader will, be, giving his 2 cents on what some of the things that the Prime Minister would have come to share with the Tobagoans yesterday. And one of the highlights as well is the fact that she spoke about the autonomy, what her administration intends to do, the autonomy, which is that, as opposed to using a DRC range or any range rather, they want to do a strategic sharing mechanism where, there's no range, but there is equitable share of the national, profits, if you want to have a better word, in sharing the resources, especially as it pertains to development. So they're not just going to look at, the population size as the benchmark, but they would also look at the development trajectory of Tobago and using project-based, models to share the national pie. this is one of my very, very, very important topics. I love this.
I know you're very passionate about that.
Yes, but guys, over to the lighter side of things. While we do have news this morning, we want to go straight over to birthdays, and we have quite a few birthday celebrants this morning. First, you want to go first, Miss Ladies first?
Of course. We have Mr. Kieran Moses. Happy birthday to you from the Tobago Updates family. As Dwayne usually says, please feel free to drop by some cake and ice cream. We would welcome it with open arms.
Yes. And next we have Miss Dawn Phillips. A happy birthday goes out to you. Everybody knows this face. Feel free to put down the phone cards and come across and just give us a slice of your cake, please and thanks. Put a little shandy in there. You can make it, you can make it black cake, or the fruit cake thingy with some little icing on top. And who do we have next?
We have Zavik Sebro. Good morning, Zavik, and happy birthday. Not just from me alone, but the Tobago Updates family here. We know you work very hard behind the camera. Happy birthday to you, and I hope you have an enjoyable day.
All right, and next, all the way from Charlottesville, my brother, my dog, very talented drummer, very talented musician, Arian Moore. Happy birthday goes out to you. Hear from us on Youth Wednesdays and the Tobago Updates family.
And last but certainly not least, we have Aisha Duncan Kwashi. Happy birthday to you. I'm looking at your picture here. I love this dress. You look very radiant and very beautiful, and I hope that is projected throughout the course of the day.
Yes, certainly. So to all of birthday celebrants, again, happy birthday goes out to you. And for those of you who did not unfortunately make it on our birthday list, we want to wish you still a happy birthday, and just drop by the cake and the ice cream. Let us all celebrate together. We love you, right? So that's that. So we have a very important rundown for you guys this morning.
We do.
Very packed, very interesting. This morning, first we will be talking with Miss Thais Lord and Janessa Jarrett on the Decolonize project. They will be coming to discuss more about that. I think it's a club. It's very, very interesting stuff. I'm sensing history.
When I saw the Decolonize project, I was intrigued because decolonize means so many things, especially for us here in the Caribbean.
Yes.
So I want to see how this interview would go.
Yes, definitely. And who do we have next?
We have Miss Monique Joseph. She was our representative for Miss Grand Trinidad and Tobago 2025 in Thailand this year. We're going to be talking about her journey on the international stage, especially how Tobago girls getting the opportunity to go out and represent. So we're going to be talking a bit about that. And last but certainly not least,
we have Miss Anthurium Lewis, certainly no stranger to us here, like Miss Joseph. She was selected to be the youngest United Nations leader on the Sustainable Development Goals. And we just want to bring her here to congratulate her and to talk about how she got to that point. Anthurium has been very ardent in what she does as it pertains to different youth work, from tourism right up to this juncture. So that's our rundown for you this morning. As you realize, it's all females this morning, and I have no issue with that. Woman Crush Wednesdays. So that's all it for you guys this morning. But we have to tell you to do one thing, which is to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago. Are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Cano Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates morning show. You're viewing us here live in Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago. My name is Dwayne Nils, for those of you just joining us and rejoining us. And this morning we are beginning the discussion with the decolonization project. And to bring that discussion this morning, we have none other than the renowned Thais Lord, mentor and facilitator at the Girls with Roots. And we have joining her Miss Janessa Jarrett, student and club member at the Mason Hall Secondary School. Good morning to you, beautiful ladies.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I am not as fine as you guys.
Don't make me blush.
I am in the midst of distinguished people, right? So I want to start with the students, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Right? How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Yeah, you seem very confident, and I tell you we're liming on set this morning, right? So just tell us about yourself, what form you're in, and why you became a part of this project.
So my name is Janessa Jarrett. I'm 14 years old. The reason why I joined this project is because,
it's a lot of it's girls oriented, you know. So you're seeing,
and I could just find kind of peace.
So use one of those girls who pro girls and don't like to be around boys.
You see, this is the thing. Everybody thinks it's about that. No.
So tell us, Miss Lord, what tell me understand more from your perspective what this is about.
All right. So Girls with Roots is the organization that funded Girls Meet, which is a club at this school. And when you hear Girls with Roots, you think of, I think of a plant that is planted in some soil, right? So a plant needs nutrients from the soil to grow. And as girls, we have things around us in our soil that could either help us grow into a beautiful plant or things that may need to be adjusted so that we can grow into that successful plant and be our authentic self, right? So we foster or we promote self-esteem, self-confidence. We have leadership programs within the organization. But it's not about women taking over and whatever. No, it's about creating good leaders or better leaders to partner with men. Yes.
I understand. And to be better citizens.
Yes, that's right.
In this beloved country. So, Janessa, how do you see this club and how your peers, what are some of the activities you're partaking in this club?
Well, some of the activities that we do at Girls Meet are interacting with each other in a positive way, expressing ourselves through art. We also engage in karaoke. Currently, we are working on a decolonized project. Okay,
that's good. So, you just sing? So, what's your favorite part of being in the club? What do you enjoy most? Liming with them girls?
Yeah, I'm watching TV.
All right, that's good. The decolonizing project. When I hear the word decolonize, my mind automatically goes back to history and the Caribbean history. Before we came on set, we were talking about our stint at studying history at secondary school. Yeah. Just tell us about that and why is it important, especially for young ladies?
Well, when you think of decolonization, we automatically think slavery, right? And colonialism would have left a lasting impact, not only in the Caribbean region, but in the world. When we think of colonialism, key themes are recurrent. So we have poverty, we have social inequalities, whether it's in healthcare or education, racism, things like these pop up. And we have to reshape our mindset when it comes to certain things. Unfortunately, especially as girls, we are left with certain stigmas like, our hair isn't beautiful. You have beautiful hair, I have beautiful hair, So we have to break those
cycles.
Vicious
cycles.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what the project is really about.
All right. So I know that you said that this was spawned from Girls with Roots. What are some of the prior things that you guys would have done in commemorating the colonizing project?
Well, it started with our leadership program that we had at Mason Hall Secondary in 2023. It's called Disrupt Her. So, girls, fancy name, right?
Did you come up with that name then?
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
Okay.
But, girls tend to be caught up in bringing each other down. And we wanted to change that narrative and really promote positive disruption among our girls. So we started with the basics, learning about self-confidence, your rights as a girl in Trinidad and Tobago or in the world, things that you have a right to. And then we channeled it into the girls identifying issues that they have among their school or among their community, and they created innovative ways. I was so proud of them, innovative ways to solve those problems. So when the program was coming to an end, they were like, Miss, we want more. We don't want to just end it here. And we created Girls Meet so that they could continue to have that space where they could share ideas in a guided space, a guided setting, and continue to learn and grow.
All right. So Ms. Jarrett, how often do you guys meet? You guys meet often at all?
Well, almost every lunchtime we just go up. Even though we don't have it, we just go up and just
discuss and so on. When I was in sixth form and fifth form, secondary school, every opportunity we got, we used to debate a lot of things, right? Do you guys engage in some of those things, like debates, like, you don't have to be a formal debate, but like discussions around your identity as a Tobagonian, identity as a Caribbean person living in the Caribbean, because, TV would tell you that, people in the United States talk better than us. What are some of the things that stand out to you? And what are some of the things, rather, that you want to see come out in the club? Some of the things that you want to see?
Some of the things that I want to see come out in the club is positivity, kindness, bravery, those type of stuff.
It's really good to see a young person like yourself, coming on a show like this, to talk about something like this, because, confidence is everything.
That's right.
Confidence is everything. It begins with confidence and, and learning, right? You mentioned I'm advised that you guys are, working on a library.
Yes.
Right? Tell us about the library and some of the achievement goals in terms of, I saw that you guys, one of the objectives is to, foster good and strong Caribbean identity, especially with our language.
Exactly.
You know what I find very profound? The only Caribbean territory, an island, right, that is very
I think I know where you're going with this here.
Pro their language.
Is
Jamaica.
I know you were going with that, and I agree. Yeah.
I find
it's
that
even in our textbooks.
Yeah,
it's
man.
in our textbooks to learn Jamaican patois.
You go to Europe. You ever traveled before?
Only to Trinidad.
Only to Trinidad. Even in Trinidad, you hear from the time I to be going and talk, did it talk bad?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so wrong, right? But just share with us some of the things that you guys are doing to desensitize
Right.
and decolonize those ideologies.
Right. So the library, well, we partnered with an organization that wants to foster literacy among children. And that is important because children nowadays, we don't read, you know, myself included, you know, I need to improve, but we don't read as much. And I think for us to know where we are going as a society, it's important to know where we came from. So we have to be deep-rooted in our history and our sense of identity as Caribbean people. So we just want to desensitize that notion that our language is bad, or dialect is bad. We want to desensitize certain, you know, concepts that we have about ourselves as women, especially in the Caribbean space, and just reshape our thinking and foster a brighter future for our kids through the library. And also, we are having a mural at the school, a public mural, a painting.
Go ahead. But thank you so much.
Yeah, which I think it's nice for persons to see. Because the club, you know, is just for girls, and they go into their room upstairs. It's a beautiful room. I know some of you all saw the pictures. Of course, there are elements of pink. Of course, pink is beautiful.
You want to laugh.
Right? But the mural is a visual symbolism of who we are, where we came from. So when we pass, persons would see like, okay, this is where my history, you know, was founded.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, right? When you get to fourth form, right? Are you going to pick up Caribbean history? Do you think you would pick up something like that?
Well, yeah, because I like history too.
Oh, that's good.
So we all share that in common, you know. Dwayne was a history student.
That is why you're here, man. You know, and given all that has been discussed and your experience in the club thus far, what do you plan on taking this initiative even outside of your school? You know, you have siblings. Do you plan to share this with your sisters, your bigger sisters, your mommy, you know, about our history and why we should be so proud?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I think I wanted to ask you, what do you want to, where you want to be?
Fashion designer.
Oh my. Make a statement without saying a word. Fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And you know, interestingly, you can speak history through your pieces, you know. It's, you know,
it's a form of art. Yeah.
And you know, your pieces can tell a story, right? And you know, when you look at creatives, they incorporate dance and you know, music into their pieces.
Even our hairstyles as well. You know, cornrows, that's a thing. If you know the history behind cornrows,
I want to ask you though, as a student, I know you're just in second form, but have you had any experience where somebody looked down at your hair and say, "One to your hair don't look nice"? Have you ever had that experience, or have you ever heard on any of your classmates experience somebody talking about their hair and the color of their skin and the way that they speak? Yeah, because we have a very good club doing great work at Mason Hall Secondary School. That's really good. Future initiatives, right? Oh, before we get there, I don't think I touched enough on the mural. Will you be painting?
Well, I have allergies, so.
Oh, but you could be more like the foreman directing on what to paint and which color to use.
No.
I'll see if I could paint though.
Okay, good. Put on your jumpsuit and you know your helmet and your gas mask and you know dab some paint and thing and you know that's good. Future initiatives though. What are some of the future initiatives that you guys have? You know, in exposing the young ladies, because exposure is one of the things that Tobagonians don't, you know, that Tobagonians suffer with, especially our young people. You know, I know that schools tend to make excursions to Trinidad and different parts of the island, you know, exposing them to certain things. What are some of the future initiatives that you guys have, or what coming to your mind as we're talking and dialoguing? I know you're real creative.
Really?
Yeah.
So we will continue having our Disruptor program at different schools. So we had it at Mason Hall. We also had it at Harmon Estate.
Oh, that's good.
Right? So we would continue having those programs at different high schools so that we could continue to spread, the initiative around Tobago and expose our girls. And as a result of our Disrupt program, we have a retreat yearly, I would say. This year we were in St. Lucia, and yes. So the thing is, right?
Did you go to St. Lucia with them?
No.
Listen, the next trip, you have to go, right?
Yeah.
Thais, if she get in trouble to go, make food.
Not a problem.
Right?
Not a
You have
problem.
to go.
So we team up with different organizations with similar that align with our goals. So one is I Am a Girl in Barbados, and also I Have a Right Foundation in Dominica. And we meet and we spread, the love, the different things that we want to see pushed among our girls in different islands. So in St. Lucia, we had a meeting at one of the primary schools, and we taught them about, your menstrual cycle and stuff like that, things that girls should be aware of as they blossom in their femininity.
That's good.
So once you continue, it might be another little trip where we could, advance the course.
Yes. And that's really good. That's really good. And partnering with other organizations like this is quite important. I look forward to seeing great things from you. I want you to put your best foot forward in your schoolwork as well, right? This club is great, but if you don't put it and apply yourself to your school, of course, all this is meaningless.
Yeah.
Right? I congratulate Mason Hall Secondary School for what they're doing with you guys. And Thais, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Right. So guys, this was Thais Lord and Janessa Jarrett coming out from the Mason Hall Secondary School to talk about the decolonization project. So thank you very much. And that's our bell there. That's our bell, to end this morning's interview. But guys, I just want to ask you to do me one favor. Help me to tell them to share the live.
Okay.
Right, so guys, this brings us to the end of this first segment. Up next we have Miss Joseph, and during that interview is Miss Ortiz. Just remember to share the live. We'll be right back.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Elderly can't have fun too. We're talking good food, proper music, lots of games, and a day at the beach they will never forget. From the time we left the compound at Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, the vibe was already established. Wheels up and seatbelts on. Watch now, when we touched down in Pigeon Point, everybody was ready for excitement. But before anything could take place, we had to secure our bellies. You ever play bingo by the beachside? Well, that was the first activity on the roster, and boy did these seniors have fun. However, others wanted something more physical, so we brought out the ring toss, and not even arthritis could have stopped them. Well, I was blown away at how straight these people were. Are you sure this is a home for the elderly? Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday, but nothing beats the song of Good Steel Pan by the shores while we take a dip in Tobago's finest water. Wait, more food again? This is my type of event. The energy was amazing and nothing short of a blessing. Big up Heavenly Care Home for the Elderly, because joy doesn't retire, laughter doesn't age, and memories like these last forever.
a stranger.
Tobago, are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Cano Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Tobago Updates. Here next up we have Miss Monique Joseph. She was the representative for Trinidad and Tobago at Miss Grand International. She's here talking about her experience and what it was like in Thailand. Good morning and welcome to you, Monique.
Hi, Vanessa. Good morning, Tobago. I am so happy and proud to have represented Trinidad and Tobago at Miss Grand. And, let's get into my story.
Now, Monique, the last time you were here, we were just celebrating your journey as being the representative for Tobago for Miss Grand on the national scale. Yes. Now, that was a big turnaround when everyone saw that you were going to be the representative for Trinidad and Tobago. Tell us what that was like when you got the call that you were going to officially represent Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage.
Yes. So it happened about a week after I did that interview. I got the call saying, it was a possibility that I'll be selected to participate. And I was overjoyed. Obviously, it was not the circumstances that I wanted in order to win, but, I was very grateful. And having gone on that journey, I think everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. And it just made my story and my experience even more testimonial and powerful.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know going into that space, especially when you weren't initially the person that was selected to go, I know that would come with some challenges, having that last minute running up and down. What was that like? What were some of the challenges you faced?
There was no running up and down. I didn't have time for that. I packed a few clothes and I got on the flight, That is one thing about my journey that I think was a setback. But, we still pulled through. We still remained resilient, hopeful, determined. And, in the end, I think I still made a good effort, regardless of all those challenges.
Yes.
So you're certainly no stranger to us here at Tobago Updates and definitely in Tobago. And big up Tobago Updates given the fact that after your interview here a week later, you were given a call. Tobago Updates is certainly doing something very well with their interview.
It was your words. It was your words.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You have to speak it into being. But Monique, in comparison to your experience in nationally and this one at Thailand, what would you say are the notable differences? They say women is women everywhere, but what do you say or see as the differences, interacting with these ladies in Thailand?
There are many differences, mainly the culture of pageantry. And, they breathe, eat, sleep. It's their culture, it's not like a hobby like it is here in Trinidad and Tobago. And I feel being around the girls, it definitely made me stronger. It helped me to grow in ways that I didn't know I needed to grow. So, they say iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
And, that's an experience that I came away feeling like I've grown so much. And even people interacting with me now, they're like, Monique, you're so different. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure when it happened, but I know the entire journey was just one of leveling up and growth.
Yeah, personal growth, that is quite important. What are some of the other challenges that you would have faced while being there? Because, you're not just among your natives, you're among people who speak different languages, who might have a different worldview than you have.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges that you face, and how did you navigate? Because confidence would be at the epicenter of how you operate as well.
Yeah.
And how you present yourself.
Yes. So, the girls, we are all so different. We have language barriers, and for some reason, we all seem to connect on a level that is just, we're on the same journey. We're all fighting for the same crown. And I think that held us together. Also, I feel my upbringing, I'm very grounded. And so it's easy for me to, interact with different people and to appreciate and accept people of different cultures, different races. So, that wasn't too much of a challenge for me. But I know that Trinidad and Tobago, I made sure to leave them with a little piece of us and what to expect from our culture.
I couldn't wait until you finish saying, because you see them pictures there? Monique, I don't know who your designer was, but listen, you see them outfits? And your makeup, everything, oh gosh, you are a wonderful canvas already.
Thank you. Thank you.
But, oh gosh, man. Tell us about, what your input was in terms of how you presented these fits, the look, Tell us.
I can't take any credit. Right. It was my team, Miss Grand Trinidad and Tobago. We tried our best to step up every year. And I had a Filipino designer. And like I said, they don't treat pageantry like we do here. So they really put their best foot forward when it comes to my outfits. And even my national costume, which was placed, was placed in the top 10 for Judge's Choice. And
a Trinbagonian design this, or the same Filipino?
No, the same Filipino team. And this is representative of our Shakonia flower.
Yes, you see that.
Now I know the Miss Grand pageant is known for its high energy productions. What was your favorite segment in all of this competition?
Oh my gosh, my favorite swimsuit. Swimsuit is a different energy. It's really about celebrating your womanhood and your femininity. And for some, it may be intimidating, but it's truly just about being confident in your skin, being confident in who you are, and projecting fun and enjoyment.
Oh, I have to ask you. Sorry, Vanessa. What was the food like over there?
Oh my gosh.
I know that they're very, it could be a very much culture shock.
Yes, it was a shock, yeah.
Especially them street foods there, boy.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
I ate so much rice. I told my family, do not cook rice ever again for me. But, the food is really interesting. It's nothing like we have here. And I think I was craving spice. I was craving, my local dishes. But the food is really interesting. I think my favorites is mango sticky rice, or pataya, or tom yum. They eat a lot of rice, but I think the barbecue was really good. They have really good pork.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I know Monique is speaking about all of these experiences that she had in the competition, and it just goes to show that programs such as these for young women really help to shape and develop our young women, especially widening your perspective, giving you a broader view of life, and getting that true appreciation of what it means to be a member of not just your nation, but also to understand your role in the world. And I'm happy that we, as Tobagonian women, are now being able to have this opportunity to be able to spread our wings and go out and to experience all of these things.
Yes.
Yeah, we.
I love it.
But what is next for you? I mean, you how does it feel to come from such a high? I'm back here. Sometimes when I leave here and I travel and I come back and I'll be like, oh gosh, come back to this. Boy, what to do next? And then you're planning your next trip, your next big trip. What is that the same for you? What is next in your lineup?
Yes, I think I'm also gonna be chasing that high. But coming back home, it felt good, and I'm also excited to just be back and share my knowledge a little bit here. But I'm definitely gonna be chasing that international high again.
You ain't done yet.
No.
No, you ain't done yet. You ain't done yet.
The world has not yet seen my finished presentation.
You bring my gold crown for you,
Yes.
Yeah, you can bring my gold crown for you. So, how does your family feel? I mean, you hail from the village of Speyside.
Yes.
How does it feel to be from the country? And I know I've probably asked you this many times, but just share with us what your family, how have they received this, representation, and your village.
Thank you for that question. It's actually a bittersweet question because I recently lost an aunt, and she was one of my biggest supporters. Sorry. I know that everyone is very proud, and I'm just excited to see how my journey evolves, and I want to make them even more proud. As you said, I want to bring home a crown that we could all celebrate, and it's just a matter of time.
It's a journey. It's not called a journey for a journey's sake.
Right.
So, Ms. Ortiz, you had any more questions for the beautiful lady?
I wanted to just share with some of the young women looking on this morning. Now, I know earlier the young ladies that were here having the interview, they asked to take a picture with you, and it just shows the power of the crown and the sash.
Yes.
When you're passing, young women look up to you because they're like, oh, a princess, oh, a queen, because usually that is what is reflected based on the way that you carry about yourself and you present yourself. What are you planning to do here for our young women in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as especially being that role model, because now you're a role model, you're Monique Joseph, you went to represent Trinidad and Tobago at Miss Grand.
Yes.
What are your next steps in terms of empowering our young women, especially those who want to go into this space?
Yes, so, I take that responsibility very seriously, and I intend to just continue to be a light, to be uplifting, and to remind our young people, women and men alike, that the world is ours, and as Tobagonians, we do not have to dim our light. We can shine as bright as we can, and it's just a matter of timing, staying true to who you are, and continuing to work on yourself each and every day.
Yeah. That's very, 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 very profound. And I could see in the future, and I could see that, you'll be championing some organization of some sort, mentoring young ladies, and older ladies, I could see that. And I think you might probably win a scholarship of some sort in the future, But wherever you go,
yes.
I just want to say that I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you've represented Trinidad and Tobago well, especially Tobago. And, you know, even without a crown, even without the makeup, you are a beautiful person.
Thank
right?
you.
And you know this is my view of you. So I want to thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Any parting words before we go?
Have a great morning and day, Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for supporting me. I forgot to thank the people for all your kind words, all your inspiration. Thank you so much.
All right. So that's Monique Joseph for you, MJ. We want to thank you for joining us. And remember to share the life, share the life, share the life. We'll be right back.
Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Tobago Updates. It's Youth Wednesday, and we are here with our final guest for this morning. We are with Anthurium Lewis. Now, Anthurium is no stranger to Tobago. She has represented Tobago at she was the Junior Tourism Secretary for 2024, so she has advocacy. She's very well versed in tourism and what it's like for Tobago. And this morning she's here to talk about her global representation, now being the United Nations Young Leader SDGs appointment. Good morning, Anthurium, and welcome.
Good morning to you and good morning, Tobago. It's lovely to be here. Yes, I can. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
How does it feel to be appointed as the UN's Young Leader for the SDGs appointment?
It is an astounding accomplishment. Sometimes I still can't even believe it because it's out of 33,000 applicants. And I know
it wasn't by my own will or strength, but it had to have been God's will for me to be able to accomplish something so large, so great. And I'm just glad that the work I done here in Little Tobago was recognized on a large scale such as that. And I know it really puts Tobago on the map. So it's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for Tobago.
Yes, because when you went for that competition in 2024, you did really remarkable.
Thank you.
I want to say again, congratulations. And I'm proud of all that you are doing, even after the fact. Now, walk us through that moment when you received that appointment. What did you feel? What was that like? Was it like, Mommy, I just got a call, I got an email, this is what is happening? What was that like?
Okay, so I was actually in school. So it was during a free period, and I was in school, and I opened my email, and I saw United Nations, congratulations. I was like, okay, what? And I clicked on it, and I was just so shocked. There was a wave of shock that just went over me, and also like gratitude, because I was like, wow, there are so many people who poured into who I am as a person, my family. There's so many persons along the way who helped me get to this point. And if I'm being honest, I cried. I cried, but I was really in joy, and it was hard to believe. So yeah.
I could only imagine how overwhelming you felt, especially with all of those emotions pooling together. You couldn't identify which one exactly you were feeling in that moment. And it's really important that we take the time to be grateful for those who have poured into us, that are part of our journey and part of our growth. And I'm happy that that is something that you have recognized and ensure that you take that forward in all of your life achievements going forward from here. Now, you've worn many hats: youth leader, tourism advocate, and now you're a UN ambassador. How do you see each of these experiences preparing you for the international stage?
Okay, I think these experiences, it gave me the knowledge that I need, and the wisdom and the connections as well. And it's prepared me in such a way that I can now represent, and there are certain things that I may not have known if I had not gone through those experiences that I can do now. It revealed to me the needs of the people of Tobago as well, and how using this title I can help to quench some of those. And it's a really throughout experience, and I'm just glad I had all of them. Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned all of your experience culminate to help you in this next leg of your journey. But I want to go in a little bit specific for what lessons did being the Junior Tourism Secretary and representing Tobago regionally, how did that teach you about leadership and diplomacy, and how you're going to be taking that into this leg of your journey?
It taught me that before you are representing yourself, you are representing your island, you're representing your country, and that is what you have to put forward out there, right? So what you do reflects on where you come from, right? It also, it puts you in big shoes. It gives you a large responsibility, and you now have to go and showcase what your island has. And I think that characteristics and qualities is really key for this next role that I'll be going into. And, just being able to speak on a higher platform gave me the experience, so that now that I'm even in a greater one, thanks God, it's something that I'm used to, and I'm not too overwhelmed by that fact because I've had practice beforehand.
Yeah, and it's really good that when we have that experience prior to being given such greater responsibility, it helps to soften the blow of feeling inadequate, or am I going to mess this up? But
totally agree.
Exactly. Now, for the viewers who may not know what the UN Young Leader for the SDGs is, can you give a brief overview of what that is?
All right, so the UN, basically they chose 17 persons, so it's an honorary cohort from across the world. Right, so they are tasked with basically propelling the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, in their region of the world. So it's really towards the 2030 agenda. And just to go into a bit of my role as a young leader for the SDGs, if I break it down into three parts, it's to continue propelling the localization of the Sustainable Development Goals in my region, and I might get into that in a short bit. It's also to represent at and contribute to international discussions, as well as really, I'm tasked with submitting progress reports to the United Nations in alignment with the 2030 agenda, just to make sure that we are on track and that progress is being made. So those is a gist of the summarization. So it's a collaborative effort. It ensures that every part of the world has a say and representation. I'll be representing for the Caribbean and Latin American region, and it's a lot.
And that is no small feat. That's no small feat. Now, can you share with us what sustainable development goals you're most passionate about? I know there's quite a few, but sometimes we have favorites in terms of the sustainable development goals. Can you share with us what are the ones that you are passionate about?
Well, as the founder of Fruits for Tomorrow, I must say number 2 of Zero Hunger, as well as there's a great importance in number 17 of partnerships for the goals, because there is no I in team. You can certain things you cannot get done by yourself, and it requires collaboration on a regional and national platform. As well, I am fond, as a Child Rights Ambassador, I'm fond of SDG number 4, which deals with quality education for all.
Anthony, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
No, it's really good to see our young people are taking that step out. They are going internationally. They are doing things to put their island on the map, their countries on the map, and doing things not just for their nation, but also for the world at large. Now, how do you plan to use your platform to bring Caribbean youth voices, especially from Tobago, into the global conversations?
Right. So my plans, really, my main plan, I would say, is to carry out a large-scale sensitization of the Sustainable Development Goals throughout the region, because you can't speak about something if you don't know what it is, right? You must understand the importance, you must understand the role that you play. And for that, we need regional cooperation, we need government action, we need collaboration with organizations and associations to really get that done. And we need a persistent media presence so that people see what's going on, people see what is being done to locally achieve the SDGs and know what role they can play to also support in that matter of regard. I'm also planning to, as a Child Rights Ambassador, I've done a research study on basically whether or not the needs of neurodivergent students are being met by the current system that we have in place. And that study found that it is inadequate. The current system we have is inadequate. And a major reason for that is because of the lack of formal training among teachers. So that is one of the things that I'm planning to tackle, because I truly believe that education is a mode for independence, and that it is something that really needs to be addressed. And of course, I'm planning to continue my Fruits for Tomorrow, expand on that as well, branch out, not just to Trinidad and Tobago, but regionally, as well as start more projects. And my prioritization would, of course, be Tobago. So, for example, if I'm planning to host an event, I will consider Tobago as the primary venue before anywhere else.
Now, I was grinning a lot when you started speaking about neurodivergent children, and also the education and the training that comes with the teachers that have to deal with these children. I am particularly proud of you for even thinking about that and going to that extent, because a lot of times we look at education as just one broad brush. We have so many different, and not just children, but in terms of individuals within the world, we all learn differently. We all view things differently. And being able to pinpoint certain things, especially with groups that aren't as visible, aren't seen as visible as they need to be, and you being able to specify and pinpoint that, I want to congratulate you so much on doing that.
Thank you so much. I want to cut in just for the audience who may not know what neurodivergent students are. It's like, for example, students who have autism and ADHD. And I really think it's important because it's not a special request. Making sure that every child is catered for in the classroom is not a special request. It's a legal and moral obligation, and it's something that needs to be brought to the forefront.
I'm speechless. Now, how can Trinidad and Tobago be able to support young change makers like yourself? What are some of the things you think that we need to do to ensure that our young people who are willing to go forth and bring that change within the world, what do you think they need the most?
I would say be willing to partner, right? So in the coming months, years, I will be reaching out to different organizations of different ministries and divisions to get work done and off the ground. And young people need a platform where they can come to persons who are older and say, this is what we need, this is how it will help our country, this is how it will help our region, and actually have discussions done. Just because we are young does not mean that we cannot contribute to decision-making processes, right? So I would say be willing to have that intergenerational discussion and be open-minded, because I think one of the main reasons why the United Nations would have chose me, because I'm actually the youngest ever young leader they've ever had, is because they want to show that there are 16-year-olds out there who are more than capable of carrying such a title. And that goes not sacrificing the qualifications, of course, because there are 16-year-olds who are doing just as much and even more. And I think that's one of the primary things they really wanted to showcase in that regard.
Thank you, Antiriam, so much for coming this morning and giving your insight. We congratulate you on your appointment.
Thank you very
and
much.
I know that you will do Tobago proud. I know you will do Trinidad and Tobago proud, and by extension, the Latin Americas.
Yes.
Congratulations. And so, viewers, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This was Youth Wednesdays, where we speak on everything youth related. We had 3 vibrant segments talking about our youth, and we want you to stay as we go over to Good Morning Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Representatives of the Assembly Legislature visited 9 secondary schools across the island as part of the Tobago Day Youth Debate Caravan 2025 to educate students on the inner workings of the Assembly with interactive sessions and mock debates.
And this is in preparation for the Tobago Day Debate. And the Tobago Day Debate is a parliamentary style debate, so it's not the typical one versus the other. You sit around the horseshoe, and therefore we are out here to teach them about the horseshoe, teach them about the makeup of our assembly, our standing orders. They are very important.
So the aim of the Tobago Day Youth Debate Caravan is to essentially engage and educate at all levels. And it was conceptualized by Madam Presiding Officer, Ms. Abby Taylor, because she felt that there was a need for persons, especially the citizenry of Tobago, to be a part of the governance system. So hence she conceptualized the People's House, as you would see in the background. So now with school children, we want them to be a part of this process, hence the Tobago Day Youth Debate Caravan, which will then filter in or lead into the Tobago Day Youth Debate, which will happen in the first week in December. So it's the aim to engage and educate at all levels, and we also have to remember that our students are the future leaders of tomorrow.
It was interesting because I got to learn about the Concertashire Boroughs and how you address some of the persons in the house. In terms of my experience with debating, I like the idea of being able to express yourself and put out an idea and just put out a perspective that someone has not seen as yet. One thing I found interesting was it was mainly how it's not really anything difficult. If I'm talking to a friend, I basically do the same thing, but we just learn the formalities of how we address in the house and some of the methods that we do research.
I believe that
careful as the school is expected to get paid and makes it feel more comfortable among themselves. I'm shocked I'm really does not disturb you.
It was a learning experience. I actually learned more than I had known before, and yeah, I will take heed to the information and use it wisely.
Yes, I do like debating because we get our opportunity to hear each other's opinions.
I have participated in one of their debates called the Tobago Day debate. I did enjoy it. It's always something enjoying to just sit and learn about the parliament and what goes on and all the presiding officers and the assemblymen.
I say it's something that I will have a passion for because one, I like to make a point. Two, I kind of like to argue, so I will see myself debating. And three, is just an interesting thing because it gets the citizens get to hear your voice and hear what you are thinking about. So yes, I will see myself doing this in the future.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
The Tobago Day Awards 2025 are here. Celebrating excellence, dedication, and the people and organizations making a lasting impact on our island and its diaspora. From the Medal of Honor to the Diaspora Award, this is your chance to nominate those whose service, leadership, and achievements deserve the spotlight. Nominations close on September 30th, 2025. And remember, only online submissions will be accepted. Visit www.tha.gov.tt to submit your nomination today. Let's celebrate our Tobago Trailblazers together.
The Health Hygiene Lounge is a family-friendly space designed to support the health and dignity of women and families. It features two main rooms. The first is the Menstrual Health Room, an educational and service-oriented space that promotes menstrual health, equity, and empowerment. The second is the Breastfeeding Room, a private, comfortable environment for nursing mothers. Together, these rooms reflect our commitment to maternal and child health.
I am thankful that this facility is now available. It really does provide a space for breastfeeding mothers to come here, whether with baby or just to pump during the workday and do that in comfort. It is an essential need, and just having this space makes it so much easier and provides that peace of mind.
I think this hygiene lounge is a step in the right direction. I think for a very long time, women have not had the opportunity to have a space that's private to deal with issues of menstruation or
morning, Tobago. Special series. I am your host this morning, Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. It is beneath the surface. Straight talk, no chaser. And this is day 3 of a 15-part series that takes us through chatting with assemblymen and councillors. In fact, assemblymen, yes, and councillors, as we focus on their accomplishments and achievements and some of their goals as they look forward to a bright future. So for those of you viewing us, you can, share the live, and you can catch us on AMPLIA channel 102, Digicel channel 33, Flow channels 121 and 130, and online on Facebook and YouTube. Viewers, our guest this morning is Councillor Orlando Kerr, Assistant Secretary for the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development, with responsibility for public utilities and rural development. Mr. Kerr is on our program this morning, and we're going to be chatting about some of the accomplishments, his background in education, his current, some of the challenges he faces within his current location, within settlements, and some of the goals that he has for the future. Orlando, good morning. In fact, Councillor, good morning and welcome to you.
Hi, good morning. It's always a pleasure to be on this program and to interact with the audience, those who are viewing locally and those who are viewing internationally. So it's always a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you. Just before we continue on into things, we want to remind our viewers that you are free to share your comments and your questions on the live Facebook, YouTube. I think we logged on this morning to Facebook. So please share your comments and your questions that we would love to share with Councillor Kerr this morning. Now, I want to get right into things. People hear the name Councillor Orlando Kerr in the village of Delaford. They know Orlando. You're not just Orlando Kerr, but you're Orlando in country. Tell us a little bit about who you are. We know you from the days of being tutor representative and functioning in the Division of Education and now settlements. But who is Orlando Kerr?
Orlando Kerr is a very down-to-earth, simple-minded individual. Sometimes I say that I don't have ambition because I take things lightly. I don't always, push for status. I don't always push for certain things. I allow things to come to me. And that's how I've always been. I've lived in Delaford all my life. As a matter of fact, where my house is now is about 50 meters from where I grew up. So I've been stable in Delaford. I've been a countryman. I intend to remain a countryman. But I think that, I have evolved. I think that I have a lot to contribute to the development of this island. And that is why I have chosen to remain, and to offer myself as a prospective candidate for the upcoming THA elections, because I think that Tobago is poised for takeoff. And I think that I have a contribution and, to make to that. So that, I am just allowing things to unfold. At this point, I'm just allowing things to unfold. But I am just a simple-minded individual. I own a small business. I have a family. So I see myself as just a cool, relaxed, laid-back individual who can at times be very forceful if I need to be. But that's a sense of who I am. I love sports. I still play Masters football with my club. We leave the island sometimes and we play football in Trinidad and out of the country because I still see myself as 19. Yes. I'm 19. So I still love my football. I still love my cricket. I'm the president of All Stars, All Fours Club. So I love All Fours as well. So I'm just that type of person. I love outdoors. I love activities. I love, being involved with people. But my main drive is sports. I love sports.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm glad that you mentioned the fact that you've decided to throw your hat into the ring, the electoral ring, and we want to start there. What made you decide? Because I mean, you've had your stint in not even a stint. You've had a taste of being tutor representative, Tobago representative, etc. But what made you decide to throw your hat into the ring this time around?
Well, I remember when the idea of Tobago East came up, I was approached by quite a few persons. And I think I did one interview and I said categorically that it was not the right time for me because of my children and the demands of having to go to Trinidad. You know, I really did not want to be away from them at this point in time. I have two boys in particular.
Right, no girls.
No, no girls.
PJ.
And and you know, you would want to be around, especially with boys. So at that time when I was asked by quite a few persons, I really would have liked to, because I really believe in service to Tobago. If you follow my track record, I've always fought for Tobago. Even when I was Tobago officer of tutor, took on the ministry and the Teaching Service Commission with regards to Tobago teachers' issues. So now we have already passed that hurdle, and we are looking at our THA elections. And I said that I needed to really think about whether I want to continue in office, because as it is now, I'm already a part of the THA. Right, the Executive Council. And when I thought about it, and of course I also go to my God, because it's important for me to have that feel, that sense that God, this is the direction that God wants me to go into.
Right.
And I had some discussions, of course, with my wife and even my boys,
Right.
and a few close friends and so on. And they said, why not? Because I'm already a part of the Executive Council. And to be quite honest, I think that I have made a valuable contribution so far. And I want to continue doing that. I think Tobago, as I said earlier, is poised for takeoff. And I think that it is instrumental to have certain persons around to continue to push that drive towards Tobago really becoming the greatest little island on the planet. I know that that's a tagline, but I think it's something that motivates. It is something that Tobagonians can look forward to when they say we want to be the greatest little island on the planet. And it is something that we want Tobagonians to embrace. And if every Tobagonian comes on board, we can achieve it. We can't be the greatest little island on the planet. So the fact that we are aspirational in our thoughts and that we are thinking about moving Tobago and really progressing Tobago in that direction, I want to be a part of that. And I think that I have a contribution to make to that. And that is why I would have offered myself, because many persons would have come to me before. Even other political parties would have come to me before. I never thought that I would have been in politics. When I was asked that question many times before, I said, no way I'm going to be a politician. And here I am. Because sometimes you don't see it. Sometimes you don't know that God has a particular path for you. Right? And I reflect on it now. And I had to smile because I was convinced. I have had heated discussions with persons before. And I said, no way, I will never get into politics. And here I am, into politics.
What made you decide to align yourself? Because you indicated that other parties approached as well. What made you decide to align yourself with the TPP?
Well, it was the PDP initially.
And then TPP.
To be quite honest with you, Ria, I was called by the Chief Secretary. And he literally asked me about my contribution and if I would be willing to contribute in the field of education. And I was shocked. I was surprised.
The current Chief Secretary.
Yes. When at the election in 2021, and I was surprised because I didn't know that I would have been called. It was an ordinary day. I was at home, and I got the call, and immediately the first answer would have been no. I didn't say no to him, but I thought no. I said, no way, Orlando. You're not going to get yourself into this political thing. But then I started to think about it. I said, okay, I'll think about it. I didn't have much time to think about it, but I started to think about it. And then I have a saying that I like to say, if you're not a part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Agree.
And I remember advocating so strongly about so many issues in education, in Tobago. So many things that I think we should fix and we should change and how we should go about doing it. And I looked at it as an opportunity to make a contribution, a positive contribution, rather than being on the outside and finding all the issues and you know all the things that are wrong. Go on the inside and try to find solution to those issues. So that was one of the reasons.
So
and then
fight from the inside,
rather
than the outside.
And then it was a in my view, a new body, a new group of people, green, fresh, raw, inexperienced. And I felt that this was an opportunity for us to really do something for Tobago, do something different than what was happening before. Because truth be told, I wasn't pleased with what was happening in Tobago in terms of our governance and all of that, as I said. So I felt that it was an opportunity for me to contribute. And you know, I said, okay, I would accept. So that was, but it wasn't easy for me, even after I accepted. For a while, it took me, you know, a while to really come to terms with the fact that I'm into politics. I remember on the day when we were being installed, I stopped in Studley Park on my way down. And I asked myself, are you really going to do this? Orlando, you're really going to do this? Because even then I was like, are you really going to do this? But at the end of the day, after the installation and all of that, and I looked at my phone, and where I'm telling you, I responded to almost 100 messages from different persons from all over the world. People who I interacted with on CUT, that's Caribbean Union of Teachers, and people who knew me, and priests. And they were all saying they were so happy that I joined because they believed that I would be one of the persons who can lend some kind of, you know, stability and support and certain kind of values that I could bring to the new team. And that is when I felt a little relaxed. I said, maybe this is your calling. Maybe really God is saying that they need you at this time. So for me, for a little while, you know, it took me, you know, to get used to the term a politician. And then, you know, after we went into office, you remember there were some chaotic moments.
Yes.
With Mr. Duke, with the audio gate. And again, I questioned, I said, why did you get into this? You were quite happy, comfortable, teaching,
living your life.
Living my life. And then I got into this. But as I said, in life, there are adversities and sometimes they make you stronger. And I honestly think that at the time when all those things happened, it actually made us stronger. It made us, it was a rough initiation into governance, but it made us stronger. So that I have a saying that God don't make mistakes.
No.
And I believe that everything happened for a reason and everything happened at the time it was supposed to happen. And now I think that we are in a better place.
Now, you indicated earlier that you were approached. Again, you were approached by other parties. What made you decide not to go that way?
Well, at the time...
and are you want to share what other parties?
well, I don't know that I want to say that now,
well,
but I think
beneath the surface.
Okay, but straight talk, no chaser.
Straight talk, no chaser.
All right, yeah. So I was approached by the PNM.
Right.
On quite a few occasions. When I demitted office in 2020, actually, they came to my school at Roxburgh Second. I had conversations with two gentlemen, and they were trying to encourage me to get into politics. And at the time, I said to them, I just finished tutor. I just want to relax myself. But to be honest, some of the things that I was hearing and seeing in Tobago, I wasn't comfortable with. And I felt that I couldn't join them at that point in time because, as I said, I wasn't comfortable with some of the things that were happening. And I was also approached by IDA. And that too, I turned down. I decided to turn that down as well. You know? So, for me, as I said, I tend to try to listen to God. I'm not professing to be the big, you know, no, but I do have faith when it comes to certain issues. Even now that I've offered myself, I am of the view that God will decide. And, you know, there are persons who might think that I'm not pursuing this as aggressively as I should because other persons are out there on Facebook and whatever. I think that my work speaks for itself. I also believe that no man can stop what is your destiny.
Yeah.
So for me, if it is my destiny, then I will get it. So I allow the process to take place, and then I can be a little bit more out there.
Okay.
But I think for now, I am going to reserve that and allow the internal structures of the party to examine me, examine all the candidates, and make the decision. At the end of the day, as I said, whatever decision is made, I accept, because I understand that life is not always what you want. Okay. Sometimes you have to accept disappointments. Sometimes you get the triumphs. But I said that my firm belief is that whatever is for you, people say what is for you is for you.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Now we're going to take a break. But when we come back, one of the questions we're going to ask you. Now, yes, you've thrown your hat into the electoral ring for the upcoming teacher elections against Natisha Charles II. Anne Natasha. Let's get it right. Anne Natasha II and Akel Franklin. But this also means that you will be going up against the current area representative for Roxborough Argyle, which is Assemblyman Duke. So we want to know what you think gives you the edge against them. Viewers, it is Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. Join us just after this break.
TNTech is pleased to advise that its Roxborough Service Centre has reopened. Starting Monday, 10th March, customers can once more visit the Roxborough Administrative Building to pay TNTech bills, request new connections, and more. TNTech, powering the nation into the next generation.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Tobago,
Are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Cano Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
Viewers, welcome back to GMT. It is the special series Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. We're still chatting this morning with Councillor Orlando Kerr. And just before we took the break, the question was asked. Yes, he's thrown his hat into the ring, going up for the THA elections and to represent the Roxborough Argyle community, running against Natasha second and Akel Franklin, but also challenging the current area representative, Assemblyman Watson Duke. What do you believe, Councillor Kerr, gives you the edge against the current representative?
Well, we actually was hoping that you had forgotten that you mentioned that before we went to the break.
No,
I was hoping. I was really
hoping
that you had forgotten that.
Yeah.
No, I think the distinction must be made that Anne and Akel, that's for the internal screening.
Right.
And if I'm successful, then it will be maybe against Watson if he decides to run again. Let me say from the onset, I think that our district, in terms of our party structure, we have 3 excellent candidates, right? And the screening committee would probably have a very difficult job determining who would go forward.
Right.
But in terms, you have to sell yourself. And I think that I have the edge because of my experience, because of the fact that I'm already a present councillor and assistant secretary with a track record of performance. Additionally, I have been out there, in terms of my experience with other organizations and so on. I live in Delaford. I've always lived in Delaford. I've always lived in the district. I've never moved out of the district. I play football with the guys. I play all fours with the guys. When rain falls on anybody's house, it falls on mine. When there are potholes in the road, I have to drive through the potholes. The lights that I fought for Louisville, I will be going down there to play. So I am a person who is in the community. I am quite familiar with what the needs are of the community. As a matter of fact, my colleagues will tell you, they will swear that I'm already the area rep because I make so much noise for issues that are affecting the community, right? So I think that I'm well poised to be a representative because I'm familiar. I have already started the work because all of the things that are happening now that persons have been asking for was through my advocation. I remember the lights at Louisville. I advocated very strongly for that. The sidewalk for the children to go up to the Anglican school. I did that. We are now looking at the beach facility in Louisville, right? We have the agro processing facility that is being rebuilt right now. Well, not rebuilt, refurbished right now.
Right.
So that I am quite familiar with the issues that face the people. We have the fishing facility in Delaford that needs to be refurbished, and so all of that. So if you ask me what the needs are for the people in Delaford and Roxborough and Argyle and Betsy Soup, I know because I live there. I interact with persons in the community. I go walking on afternoons through the community. I go down to Betsy's Hoop. I mean, so the people are quite familiar with me. And as I said, I believe that I'm a very strong advocate for many things. I'm very passionate about service to people. I'm very passionate about representation.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that has been many persons have been accused of is that they don't answer their phones. I answer my phone. I respond to messages. Because as it is now, even though I'm not the area rep, persons come to me for assistance. And I always answer the call. I have been bombarded by many groups and so on in the community for sponsorship and so on. And I answer the call. So I think that even given that we have good persons who are vying for the position, I think that especially because I am there, I live there, I have been there for all my life, and given my experience in public service and advocating on behalf of persons and so on, because that's what I did in tutor, right? I think that I'm the best person. But additionally to that, I think that we have to look at governance going forward. And I think that I have a contribution to make to governance going forward as well.
Okay.
I know that we are at the position where we are talking about autonomy. We are talking about different things that will move Tobago forward. And I think that I have a contribution to make to outside of my community, the island of Tobago. So I think that I, at this point, will be, in my view, the better person for the job.
All right, well, we have a question coming in here from the live, and I would swear this viewer probably took a peep at my notes, but I will share this question from the viewer, and this is a question coming in from Newton George. If you are successful as a candidate, what are two of the important things you would want to do for the community?
One of the most important things in my view, Rhea, is training for the young people. Rhea, it hurts me when I see so many of our young folk are sitting on the block for the entire day. They approach you for a job. They want a job. What is your skill set? They have absolutely no skill set. I think that we are losing a generation. And I think that we really need to try to reach out to our youths. I don't have the answers because I know that sometimes training is offered and they do not respond. But I think we need to find a way to get our youths engaged in positive activities. That is one of the reasons why I fought for the lights at Loido, because I know that sport is a way out for many youths. But I also think that we need to offer training. And the training may not have to be always formal, because sometimes they feel a little threatened when they feel it's a classroom setting and all of that. But I'm saying that that is one of my main goals, to really, the youths in that area, to see how we can positively impact on them, how we can get many of them to learn a little skill. I often say, especially air conditioning. In Tobago, we have, so many opportunities outside of air conditioning, but air conditioning is an area where you always find that you have to wait on the technician to come because we don't have enough. And I'm saying that, these are some of the areas, air conditioning and masonry and so on, because many of the projects that we undertake, sometimes we have to get these people coming from outside of Tobago. So when the cry is that there isn't jobs in Tobago, there are jobs, but almost 95% of the person who come to you, they want the early morning walk. They want a walk to go and cut some bush for half an hour and go back home. And so that my concern is the youths. That's one of my main concerns, right? The other concern that I would probably take off my head is, and there's something that I really want us to do in Roxborough, is that transport hub that we have been talking about that centralization where we can have transition from maybe the larger buses in PTSE to the smaller buses to go to Lansome and Charlottesville and so on. I think that that is going to be something that will bring a certain amount of commerce to Roxborough and environs. So I think that that is, if I'm going to look at the top two, because all the other things, I know that we have the fire station, the hospital, the police station and all those things, but I think that Roxborough as an area really needs that transport hub to sort of link it to the rest of the island, so that when you are transiting from Scarborough, you may not necessarily transit straight to Charlottesville. There may be that networking of the transportation service. So those are two of the things I can think off my head that I would want to do. The other things are, we have some issues with lighting and so on of the plain area outside of St. Grey. Those are just maintenance issues. Right. But I'm talking about issues that you really want to see and put on the front burner.
To make a difference.
To make a difference. And I think that especially the training of the young people here, maybe because I came from an education background, I think it's something that we must do. And not only in Roxborough and Argyle and in my district, I think it's something that we have to look at as an executive council, because we cannot sustain this island by giving people early morning employment.
Granted. Now let's talk a little bit now about your current, in fact, before we get to the current, we've got to talk a little bit about, your stint in the Division of Education in DUTEC. Let us talk a little bit about that. What were some of the takeaways? Because it was a very short time until you were relocated. Yeah. Tell us about some of the things that you discovered. Again, you came from a background of no politics.
Yes.
Feet wet into politics. What were some of the challenges or accomplishments within that time in DUTEC?
Well, I think we were able to do, when I worked with Secretary Hackett, we were able to do a lot in a short space of time. And I think that, not just to generalize, I think that Tobago needs to understand that a lot has happened in the last 4 years. I know that many persons are saying that, well, I ain't see this and I ain't see that and I ain't see that. And governance really, one term in governance is really no time. But we were able to accomplish a lot. I could talk to the fact that when we came into office, ECC teachers were without contract. Every single ECC teacher has a contract now, and they're comfortable, right? We inherited a huge debt in increments and gratuities for teachers, and we were able to pay. I remember when I left education, the allocation for that was, I think, was $8 million. We were able to pay about $25 million in increments and arrears and so on for teachers. We started to look at the establishments, because we have a large number of contract teachers on the island, and we know the disadvantages that go with contract employment, and that is what we inherited as well, right? And we started, at the time we were working on that, we had engaged the Teaching Service Commission, and what I said to the commission at the time is that we needed to look at this as a special project because of the process of appointing teachers. It is a bit tedious, and there were some things that needed to be done, interviews and other things, and normally the interviews are scheduled based on the area of specialization. But what I was asking the commission to do, because there were so many persons and we wanted to do it in a quick time, let us look at Tobago as a special project in terms of having those teachers appointed and out from under the contract system, so that we were able to do that. When I came on board, there were many issues with the maxi taxi driver, the maxi taxi operators, and we were able to, well, we are almost there. Sometimes these things take a little time because there's always the little fine print that you have to go over and so on. But I think that they're in a better place, right? Because we are looking at regularizing them in terms of giving them contracts and so on and all of that. So there were many, many, many wins when I was at the division, and the division continues to work on these things, because I still hear what is happening at the division. Right. Sometimes, as I said, things are not happening as fast as people would like, but sometimes it is not really in your control, because there are other external agencies that have some part to play in that, and you have to work with them to get the thing accomplished.
But some would say it is members of one party. One would have thought that things may have run smoother.
No, I was talking about, like, in terms of the appointment of the teachers, like the Teaching Service Commission and maybe the Ministry of Education, and sometimes it may even involve the CPU and all of that. So I'm talking about those external bodies, right? Because even within, as a politician, you set policy, right? And as the chief was at pains to explain the other day, you may want to, let's say, purchase a camera or some other kind of equipment. That is left up to the officers of the division. That is left up to the procurement unit. You can't just simply go and say, well, listen, I'm buying this camera. You want to buy it next week. But sometimes it takes a little longer because of the process involved. And I often say to people that government service do work fast. It is something that we would want to work on. But the reality is that a lot of these systems are bureaucratic in nature. And that causes the delay when you have all this bureaucracy. So that it is something that we would want to...
Oh, okay, I'm not sure what's happening there. Go ahead.
Yeah, but this is something that we would want to work on as a THA, because we have spoken about productivity across the island. And, you know, it is
a little bit of a distraction.
Yes,
there.
It is a concern for us, because what we have done in our time, and we are looking at digitization and all of that, what we have done in our time is to try to find ways to make the lives of Tobagonians easier. As you are aware, in health, for example, persons can access some of the social grants and so on online, and this is it is in an attempt to try to streamline things and make things move much faster, because we have inherited a system where something that might be simple has to go to 3, 4, 5 persons before it gets approved, and sometimes when you look at it, there is really no need.
Right.
You know, so we have been looking back at the systems, and we are saying that we want to streamline things so that things can move faster. But as I said, it has only been 4 years. It may seem to be a long time, but in governance, 4 years is really a short time.
All right. Now, your current division as Assistant Secretary within the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development, it touches people's daily lives directly, housing, water, infrastructure, that sort of thing. What realities have you discovered since taking office? I mean, we look at things from the outside. What do you know now that you did not know then?
Well, just what I explained, you know, like even within the areas that I am responsible for now, I would normally meet with the various public utilities. WASA, TNTEC, TSCT, Digicel, and for the most part, what I'm very heartened about is that all the senior level officials that attend those meetings, we are all on the same page. We are saying that we want to improve on the services for the persons, for the people living in Tobago. So that is good. You have persons who whose aspirations are to really make Tobagonians' lives comfortable and get water and get, you know, proper internet and proper electricity and so on. The harsh reality, however, sometimes there are issues that, because of the resources, you may not be able to deal with it in the manner and as quickly as you would like. We know that there have been a water challenge in Tobago.
Yes.
Fortunately or unfortunately, the previous government spent how many millions, they said, and they had pipes. Which we were not a part of, in the sense that we were not invited to the table to give a contribution. I want to say that because that is how it was. We were not consulted. But let you have persons on that end of the island where you just spent how many millions without consulting the THE, crying out for water. But we have had some very fruitful meetings with the present administration and the present executive of WASA, and we have some plans afoot that will soon alleviate a lot of the challenges. It may not, as I said, come as quickly as we would like, but there are some things that are already in train. For example, there's a plant at Gosborough, and there are plans to do a desal plant at Charlottesville and so on, and things are moving at pace. But you know, it's not going to be next week or next month, right? But I think the difference now, and I want to say this on here, because I think that politics is a funny thing. And politics, a lot of people try to give impressions and sway the people outside, because they don't think that the people have the information. So they try to make it seem as though, you know, but the reality is that we did not have cooperation before. We did not have it. They try to project, like at times, that they wanted to cooperate with you, but in reality it wasn't happening, because there is such a difference now interacting with these new ministers in terms of how they treat with you, how they consult with you, how we actually sit and discuss what we are going to do. what we are going to do on
feel
Tobago.
as though Tobago now has a seat at the table.
Exactly. It is so different now. And as I said, this is not politics talk. This is reality. You are actually given an opportunity to be heard. You actually be given an opportunity to prefer a solution to the problem. Right? And that was not happening before we are.
Okay.
Right? So to say, all of that to say that Tobago is in a better place. It is in a better place. And I hope that Tobagonians, regardless of your political alignment, understand that, because that is the reality. Tobago is in a better place. Because we have persons now who are not looking down to you, who are not talking down to you, who don't believe that, I just entertaining you really, but I'm not on you kind of scene, as we say in Tobago. You don't get that. You get the feeling that you are respected. We had a meeting yesterday with the Prime Minister and the ministers who were in Tobago and Ria. That meeting was an eye-opener for me. And if I had any doubts about continuing in politics, I was convinced yesterday. Because of the tone of the meeting, because of the mutual respect of the Prime Minister and the ministers, you felt as though you're really in governance in Tobago, that you really have a say in what happening in Tobago, and that was not happening before.
All right. But we're going to take another break here. But when we come back, and we're going to be wrapping things up within the next segment or so, but we want to have an idea of if you are to grade yourself, grade your performance. And this is performance from within DUTEC as Assistant Secretary under DUTEC and your current position. So we want you to grade yourself A to F in terms of your performance. All right, and you're going to share with us some of your goals for the future should you be successful in the upcoming election. So viewers, stay tuned. Remember, this is Beneath the Surface. Straight talk, no chaser. Join us after the break.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, buljoil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago, Are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Cano Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Yeah. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people.
Viewers, welcome back to Beneath the Surface on GMT. Straight talk, no chaser. Still chatting this morning with Councillor Orlando Kerr. Now, Councillor Kerr, just before we took the break, the question was asked, if you were to grade yourself, and this is Councillor Kerr, Assistant Secretary for DIRTEC, and Councillor Kerr, Assistant Secretary for the Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. What grade would you give yourself? I mean, we understand here one term is not enough to do, but you've done some work. How would you grade yourself? A to F, A being the highest. And why?
I don't like to grade myself, right?
True.
But I will try.
Yes.
I think I would give myself a B.
A B.
Because I think that there is room for a lot of improvement, but I think that a lot was done as well, given the constraints that, you would normally experience and so on. I think that the first term would always be the most challenging term because you are inexperienced. You have to understand the system. You have to understand the working of the system. So I think that we can only go up from there. So I think that it will get better, right? But I would say a B because I think there were many things that we have fixed. Some small, some big, some the public is not aware of, because that was just the nature of what we had to do. So I would give myself a B.
Okay,
Yeah.
a B.
Yeah.
All right. Now, should you be successful in the upcoming elections, you would not just, you're looking at vying for the area, yes, but then when you are installed, you will be a representative for Tobago. What do you see as Tobago's 3 most urgent issues or problems that require some realistic solutions?
Okay, but I think top on the agenda for me is autonomy. I think that if we are able to get autonomy, many things that, again, because of bureaucracy, we can fix and fix quickly. We can treat with right here in Tobago. Because the reality is that what is priority for you may not be priority for the National Parliament. And therefore, I think our autonomy is crucial and critical in us really moving Tobago quickly in the direction that we want it to go, right? So the autonomy issue is one. Personally, for me, I think that we need to address productivity. I think that the THA is the largest employer on the island, and we do not get the commensurate productivity for the salaries that we pay. Yes, I'm Tobagonian. Yes, I understand our culture. And I may not be making the best political statement at this time, but it is the reality we are. We need to, if we are to realize the greatest little island on the planet, it is not about the chief secretary or the secretaries or even the administrator. It is about all of us chipping in and doing our little part. And it bothers me a bit when we as Tobagonian, the rank and file Tobagonian, we are not chipping in. We're going to work and we're not doing anything. right? We simply given the most trouble to do the simplest task. And it is difficult. It is very difficult. And secretaries can tell you, we get calls sometimes to treat with issues that we should not even be aware of, because there are layers of accountability. For example, foremen and supervisors that are supposed to treat with that. But guess what? When the public feels the pain, they reach out to us. At our level, where we're supposed to be focusing on policy, we have to focus on somebody not doing their job. Somebody didn't clear the road or so. And I'm saying that we have to get past that rear. We have to understand pride in our island. And whenever we are called to duty, we must perform. So that's 2. Thirdly, for me, for Tobago, we have to look at our infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I'm not just talking about roads alone. I'm talking about our infrastructure across the island, right? I think that we are poised, or size simply can give us the opportunity that we can be, in terms of our infrastructure, ahead of everyone else, ahead of the country. So outside of our roads and all those things, our general infrastructure, all our and I heard this statement being made by the opposition. You know, I'm a politician, so I had to mention that about that we're not building anything, we're just fixing. And you know, it's unfortunate that some people are just about deception. Because if you have facilities on the island, are you going to allow, well, we met them in a dilapidated state, many of them. Are we going to simply leave them? We have to refurbish them. We have to fix them. That is a part of governance. Fixing things that are already existing is a part of governance. So is it that we're going to build new ones every time something dilapidates? So when they come with these arguments, and I want to say this to Tobago, just give me 2 seconds. Mind your business in that. Don't allow people to come and just talk. As a former principal, you say nonsense talk in your head. Think about what they're saying and see if it makes sense. Because when you hear people saying they ain't building nothing, they're refurbishing, who are we refurbishing it for? It's for the population. Why do we have to refurbish it? Because it was in a dilapidated condition. Look at what is happening with the bus sheds now. You know that I am the person who is doing who is responsible for doing the bus shed project, right? We have our corporate persons on board and so on. Why do we have to do it? Because 99% of them were in a state of disrepair. So should we leave them and build new ones? We have built some for strategic reasons. Those at Bishop's are not signaled because of the size of the school population and so on. But we have also pioneered this program where we have corporate Tobago refurbishing a lot of them and so on. So the argument that we are just refurbishing, we ain't building nothing, and that is not even true, really does not make sense. So infrastructure here, right? Because I am one of the persons who's very passionate about our indoor facility. I am saying that a child who has been born in Tobago should have the same opportunity as a child who's born anywhere else in the country, in Trinidad. And when our children in Tobago, when we came into office, we were the ones who took out the indoor court that they had in Shore Park for 7 years, dusted it off and had our children playing on it, because our children had to be given those opportunities. And these are the things that we are talking about. There are many things that people are saying that they have not seen on the island. But I like to look at the cup half full and not half empty. Maybe I'm an eternal optimist. But I'm saying that there are so many things that have been transformed, and it has happened so quickly and so seamlessly that people forget. Because that Shore Park complex, that was a ghost town. Shore Park complex now is vibrant. Our children are given the opportunities to play indoors. Never before it happened. And that floor was bought by them 7 years ago, and they put it like take dust. So why did you buy it? You bought it for the children of Tobago to have an opportunity. No, you did not do that.
So what was the hindrance? What was the key back?
Well, that is a question that you need to ask them.
Okay.
I have my thoughts about it, because I'm saying that whatever we do, it should be to the benefit of our citizens here in Tobago. So that I am very passionate about us getting a proper indoor facility. I think that it is something that we really need, so that our children here can have the kind of experiences that other children across the country are having. So that for me, so those are the 3 things that I will find, I think that are most important. You know, our autonomy, our productivity, because that will move the island forward, and our infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, as I said, I'm not only talking about roads and bridges and those things. I'm talking about generally across the island, or schools, or pavilions, or fields, everything. I think that those are the things that are most important. Once we have those things, we can build policy around them, and we can, really transform the island. Yeah.
All right. Very quickly here, what Sorry, when you remove the policies and the public titles, what keeps you grounded as a person? Or should I say who?
I have a belief that, you know, let us say, I'm trying to put it nicely because I don't offend anybody. I don't think that being educated or being in a particular office makes you better than anybody. I think that I believe in the theory of multiple intelligences. I believe that the fisherman has an intelligence that I don't have. You put me out in the sea, I turn stupid, right? I may be educated, but that's a different level of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I had a conversation with a young lady recently, and I'm not sure if she has any O-levels or A-levels, but I was awed because the way how the ideas that I got, I said, this is a very intelligent young lady. And I didn't get the impression that she was working in any government office or anything like that. So sometimes I think that a lot of people judge themselves by their education, their accomplishments in life, and so on. I don't. I see everybody as equal. I like, well, you know me, you're my neighbor. You know what I'm at home, how I am. I don't believe in, yes, there are offices and you must respect somebody's office and all of that. But I think that you need to come down to ground to everybody and talk to everybody and have respect.
Yes.
Off here we were talking about respect, and I said that I am a firm believer that respect is horizontal and not vertical. And not because you might be a secretary, assistant secretary, it means that you could talk down to somebody and vice versa, because I would not allow myself to be disrespected. But I think that I remain grounded because I value what people can bring to the table, right? And I respect everybody because everybody has a contribution. They may not contribute in the same way, but everybody has a contribution and everybody has an intelligence. It may not be academic, but I think our society looks at academics, and academics mainly, if you have a doctorate, well, oh gosh. And I'm not saying, and again, I don't want to offend anybody. Not that something is wrong with a doctorate, but I'm also saying that recognize the guy who could. There are guys who are able to build houses that are self-taught. They never went anywhere.
And we need them.
Right, they never went anywhere. And they can do things that we can't do. And that's what I'm saying, that we need to recognize everybody's intelligence. So for me, everybody is equal. Then I know who up there and who down there. And so I have always, remained grounded because I respect everybody. And I demand respect from people as well.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, Evans Tobago looks forward to the upcoming 2025 elections, or 2026, the upcoming elections. What message of hope do you believe you want to leave with the people of Tobago as you aspire to represent?
When we started this interview, I'm not sure if I said it on air, but I am a person who firmly believe in speaking from the heart. I don't believe in telling people what they want to hear. I like to tell people how I feel. And if you ask my colleagues, they will tell you that. Right? No disrespect, but I will tell you how I really feel about things. And I honestly, even divorcing myself from the politics, I think that Tobago has an opportunity that we cannot allow to let pass. I mentioned earlier about the collaboration, the whole 360 in attitude of the government. Persons may say it is politically motivated. However, we get in it, are taking it. Right? In other words, whether or not I don't gonna subscribe to people saying, well, they're just doing it because they want a little win the election. Whatever benefits the people of Tobago is what I am willing to accept. So I think that Tobago is in a position right now where in the next election, they need to make the right decision. It is so important for me to see that people are not voting along party lines. Now, truth be told, I've had a lot of persons who have come up to me who have said to me, I'm a PNM, and I respect that. I have good friends who are PNM. And some of them have said to me, but we're giving all your next chance. Because in their heart and in their mind, they realize that the transformation has begun. And At the end of the day, they want to see what is best for Tobago. We got an import license yesterday in 6 months. And I don't know if Tobagonians understand the significance of what happened yesterday, We were trying to get that import license so that we could export materials from Studley Park and gain revenue for Tobago and much needed foreign exchange. And that was simply being blocked for years. And we got it in 6 months yesterday. So are you going to go with somebody who telling you they love you, but they're not demonstrating that? They're not showing you they love you. They're telling you they love you, but they're doing nothing for you. And you have a regime now, at least for now. And I want to say as well, if things are happening that we don't believe it's to the benefit of Tobago, we are going to speak out. And the chief said it yesterday. So it's not that we're going to agree with everything, but we are not going to fight for fighting's sake either. And we are seeing a willingness to work with us, to assist us in terms of bringing relief to the people of Tobago. Should we, as a people, not as political party or I'm a PNM or I'm a TPP, should we as people lose that opportunity? That is what we should ask ourselves, right? Because there are persons who will come and try to paint a picture and tell you all kind of thing. All kind of thing that is happening. And as I said earlier, I like to look at the cup half full. And let us be real. It's about demonstration of your intention. Because there was no demonstration before. This issue about that export license. We beg, we plead, we bring it in the public space. We boy no give way. You no give way. That is the reality. So yes, we can say that we are Tobagonian and is with Tobagonian boy. And I have no challenges with that. But what did we get for that? What did we get? We have somebody now who gave us in 6 months. So now, Tobago is well poised to earn some foreign exchange and revenue from spell, which will be down to the benefit of the people of Tobago. So, as a Tobagonian, whether you're PNM, your PDP, your TPP, your whatever, you are seeing movement in the right direction for you and your children and your family in Tobago. And you are going to simply hold on and say, well, me are this. It can't be. And I think that most right-thinking Tobagonians, regardless of their political affiliation, are seeing what is happening. And based on that, I am convinced that we will be given a second term.
All right. Let me ask you here. If you are successful and you have the opportunity of selecting your position, selecting that division or that position to lead over, what area would you like to function in?
That's a toughie.
If the chief says, Councillor Kerr, you have a chance to select. Where do you want education? What do you want finance? Where do you want settlements? Where do you want to function?
That's a toughie for me. In that, I think I can function anyway, to be honest. Because I went to settlements, and well, you're seeing what is happening in settlements in terms, because we have some washrooms that we are doing up at the lookout in Speyside and at Mount Dillon, and so we're doing things that people have been asking for. That those are under my remit. So I can function anyway. But I will be most comfortable in education. Most comfortable, because it is something I know like the back of my hand. Like I was able to explain to you some of the nuances of having the contract teachers appointed and so on. It's what I know without even thinking, because I've been in it so long. But education is headache, because a huge division, and there are many problems in education, many issues. But it is where I would be most comfortable, because as I said, but I can function anyway, because as I said, this is Tobago, and if you know what the issues are, you will be able to treat with them. And I think that our administration has shown that we are about the people.
Okay.
We are about the people. And, it's just that time does not permit. Because I could speak to accomplishments in every single division that people did not even, they just take it for granted. I was talking to a gentleman the other day in Delaford, and I was telling him, I said, simply Roxborough Hospital is open 24 hours now. And people don't understand the work that Dr. Faith had to put in to get a hospital running for 24 hours. Give the PNM credit for building a building. I'm going to give them credit. But that is all that happened. It was just a building. Downstairs was, I think, they were health center downstairs, and they were using some clinics. And that was it. And this administration built out a hospital so that now if I'm in Delaford and I feel a little pain, I could run down the road. Right? People don't understand these things. They hear, well, the hospital was there, and they don't understand the amount of work that went into it, the amount of resources, I'm talking about financial and otherwise, that had to go into it. And there are many things that has happened, as I said, some small, some big, that people are not even aware of. Because what we do, I think one of the things that we have not done well is publicize what we do. We have not been doing that because we have been concentrating on doing the work. But we have done so much in 4 years.
Okay. So promotion is a big thing.
Yes.
Okay. All right, but we're going to leave it there. We want to thank you so much for joining us. Any closing comments before we wrap things up?
Well, yeah, it's just that it is always nice to come on air. And I like to talk to my Tobagonian brothers and sisters because outside of the politics, I have a passion for Tobago. I have always fought for Tobago. I always am of the view that Tobago people should never be second-class citizens. And anything that is afforded to anybody else in the country, once you're living in Tobago, you should be afforded that opportunity too. So what I can say to Tobago is that I can give the commitment that I, Orlando Kerr, will continue to represent the people of Tobago without fear nor favor, malice or ill will. And I am committed to putting Tobago first and really pushing for that kind of development that we want on the island.
Okay. Thank you so much, viewers. Thank you so much for joining us for this special series, Beneath the Surface, Straight Talk, No Chaser. We were just chatting with Councillor Orlando Kerr, and you can stay tuned for the rest of the week from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. For more Beneath the Surface, Straight Talk, No Chaser. We want to thank you for joining us. Have a really great day, and we will see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye, Tobago.